Check the radio, the big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to PTM Racing TV, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, as we are here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the next running and showcase of GOAT Racing League's Race City Sports Memorabilia, presented in part by our friends at Race City Sports Memorabilia. A big thank you to them and all those that come before and come to the show. It's time to get wild and get to the action here on PTM Racing TV. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Trier, hopping out of that car and hopping back into the broadcast booth. Great to hear from you guys all on the track and great from you on the show. Time to look at our starting lineup, and we're going to try to get through all of them this time. But on the pole, in the 19, once again, Tyler Dalton. In the outside, in the number 5, it's Chad Coleman. Row number 2 is in the number 60, it's John Hickman Jr. The outside, in the 02, it is Shannon Wood. Row number 3 is Jose Gonzalez in the 26, the outside, in the 30, Brian V. Macklin. Row number 4 is the 41 of E.J. Org, the outside, and the number 3, Zach Rongich. Row number 5 is Nick. Is going to be Mike Kelly in the 6, the outside, and the 88, it's Nick Rader. Row number 6 is then the 87 is Steve Ritter, the outside, and the 7 is Scott Simley. Row 7 is the 15 of Joe Hudson, the outside, and then number 4, it's Glenn Campbell. Row number 8 is the 83 of John McMillan Jr., the outside, and the 25, Ernest King. Row number 9 and the 55 is AJ DeMarzo, and the outside of him in the number 12, Action Man, Aaron Action Jackson in the 12. Row number 10 is the 42, Dakota Kramer, the outside, and the 22, John Fowler. Row number 11 is the 84, Anthony M. Calatani, the outside, and the number 44, Christoph Hall. Row number 12 is Jeff Ramsdale, the 97, the outside, and the 93, it is Bud Shearer. Row number 13, that'll be piloted by the 69, Dusty Burkhardt, the outside, and the number 75, it is Alan Wild. Row number 14 is Samuel Harrell, the 14, the outside, number 8 is Maurice Burnett. Row number 15 and the number 10 pilots Ryan D. Cook, the outside, in the 18, it's Philip Schmitz. Row number 16 is Cody Sturgill on the 24, the outside, and the 21, David Scott. Row number 17 is going to be Randy Cutching in the 48, the outside. The number 11, Ron Holyfield. Row number 18 is Russell Ottaway in the 89, the outside. Number 38, John McMillan, Sr. Our final rows tonight. Piloting in row number 19 is going to be Joey Gattina, the outside, and the 14 the outside, and the 07 is Gijon Monte. Row number 20 is going to be Charles Van Schaik, and the 23 the outside, and the 96 Terry Livingston. Final starters in row number 21, Richard Crane, and the 36 the outside, and the 71 Casey Duncan, and finally in row number 22, James Smith, the 80 the outside, Joseph Atchison, and the 45. And race fans, it is time in Vegas. It is time to bring you the biggest and the baddest, the wildest and the craziest. Let the action commence. Let the power be put through the floorboards. Bring on the Race Day Sports Memorabilia Truck Series. Right out of the gate, though, there is some early troubles out on the track here. Drivers not quite getting set up the way they were hoping for out of the start, and unfortunately finding themselves kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place. Looks like David Pencil Scott going to be the first victim here in stage number 1. We'll have to go to the PTM Race TV Instant Replay, find out what happened there exactly. Not exactly the start they were looking for. We don't have very many camera angles here, unfortunately, because we kind of got trapped on that. Looks like, oh yeah, right there you can see, it looks like big black and blue got it into there, into the wall there. Couldn't quite tell who was the driver that got into that. Looks like we're going to be looking at the number, that's John Fowler, the 22, yep. So let's take it to the chopper cam. Let's see if we can get a look at this. Looks like he was trying to avoid the 83, and then Christoph Hall, you see the 44 get out of the way. Fred Shearer getting slammed in there. The 75 Alan Wild. I saw him getting tagged, and first mishap and mistake of the race. Definitely not what they had planned or what they had said in mind. Alright, right now Phil going to get squared back up after that little hiccup there. It's time to let you guys in on our little track tech talk here today. Let's take a look at it here as we get the drivers lined back up in position. 1.5 miles in length. This is 1.52 miles in total. Las Vegas Motor Speedway D-shaped configuration. Rounded edges on the front straightaway. Very fast speeds, very powerful speeds. Flat tracking it pretty well for these 550 horsepower packages on these trucks. However, as you get later in the run, the tires do take a little bit of wear and tear, so it does tear up a lot more often than not because it's a lot more difficult to really press and pound through the field. So watch for drivers early on to make some big jumps ahead, quickly try to make their way through the field. But many drivers will say, and myself included, this is going to be one of their tougher ordeals to make a move and make a pass on. The pressure will be on here on the showcase and on the track. Taking a look at our stage breaks today, lap 20 and lap 50 are our stage ends, 51 laps to the distance in the final stage. 101 laps to the distance, 75% fuel, 2 green-white checkers, no fast repairs, 3 extra short tires. What does that all mean? Well, if you heard one of those parts in there, no fast repairs, don't get caught up in wrecks. Don't get yourself into something you can't fight out of. You will regret it later. Let's bring it back around to the green flag here. Set them off, flag high in the air. We're back on our way. The power and the speed already throwing these drivers for a loop. John Hickman Jr. going to go running it down into the outside. Got the number 26, Jose Gonzalez, right underneath him, looking for some speed. Looking for a little bit of ground clearance, though. Tyler Dalton is your early leader here as he continues to dictate the pace. And this is something you're going to see a lot of, too, folks. There's a lot of drivers. They're going to be looking for opportunities when to attack, opportunities when to make the run, and other opportunities when to hang on when they absolutely have to. A lot of drivers are going to be trying to push that fine line on the bottom and the middle. And I'm not talking about catching some tail or catching some cowtails like Gonzalez. I'm talking catching every little run and every little extra bit of speed. E.J. Orick, remember last time out here, he would win it out at Daytona. But there's a lot of drivers that got their eye on him. And it looks like Tyler Dalton certainly is one of them. Orick trying to go back to the inside to keep Dalton from throwing the crossover. Dalton crosses him through. Orick stuck in the middle now. He's going to wear the tires out just a little bit being up there. So he sees Gonzalez. So let him up there and try to work with him. Maybe try to keep the speed going. Try to not overpower. Staying in the draft allows him to at least keep the truck somewhat relatively cleaner and not have to burn up so much of the fuel or the tires. So that could be a difference maker on the scene throughout the race. Let's take a look at the back of the pack right now. Number 69, Dusty Burkhardt. Currently 4 spots up. Started in the 25th spot. He's currently 21st at the moment. Trying to make some runs through. 14 spots up from Ron Holyfield and John McMillan Sr. There's some hard chargers coming from the back of the outhouse. They want to get to the White House. But to do so, again, they've got to find a way around this heated field. Lap number 10 going to be put into the books this time around. The number 44. That is being driven by Glenn Campbell. The AS7 is Steve Ritter there up on his outside. The 44 is actually looking like to be the 4 on our end. Again, that's not us. That's Ira Racing's fall. Custom number design on Glenn Campbell, so apologies for the inconvenience and confusion there. Devin Pencil Scott, the 31, staying out of the way of the leaders. Good support on him for sportsmanship and also to avoid any more madness. Probably doesn't want anything to do with it here as Alan Wild and Tyler Spooner have joined us today. Tyler's saying good luck out there, and Alan joining in for the fun in the race itself. Although considering he was in that first wreck, I don't know how much damage he may have suffered. He's definitely going to try to hope to stay out of trouble and stay somewhat relatively cleaner throughout the rest of it. AJ DiMaggio right now currently working the field in on the valve cap on the turn number 3 here. He's got Aaron Action Jackson right in front of him trying to make a move to the inside. You can see too, listen to that throttle rhythm and look at the RPMs on the 55 as he keeps him going through the turn. Listen to this and watch. Notice how he does not lift. Notice how the truck stays in the clean and the dirty air, and he continues to power through it. Again, he is trying to avoid trouble and trying to avoid anything he can, and hoping to really keep his momentum up as power's consistency will win this one out. He's very well aware of it, but it's a long road ahead. Randy coaching saying, stinks I got taken out lap 1. Not my fault. Had 30 minutes. Randy, it's definitely a tough break there, sir. But we do at least appreciate coming on board and at least trying to make an effort here on the broadcast. Come by and watch the race and also race it out with these guys. Packed, stacked, racked in on the attack, though. The field currently in the top 10. They are having themselves a ball, and I'm not talking about the ball Cinderella would have when her little prince out there. I'm talking absolute maddening, tight cornered, high speed, high risk, high reward racing. The only thing ovals can bring to the table, 189 to 190 lap speeds being up on the Richter scale and on the turntable. And speaking of putting on the turntable, here comes the man that was trying to win it out last time out against this guy he's going to go one-on-one with, Brian V. Macklin, now looking to show he's not a play track driver, as more or less he's a speedster on the other tracks. He's going for broke here, a one-on-one here with Tyler Dalton. Tyler trying to hold him back, trying to keep him away from it. The rest of the field just watching as these three heavy hitters are going for broke and taking each other to the limit. Cowtail's onboard camera here for that number 26 Toyota Tundra of Jose Gonzalez as the Navy.com number 30 of Brian V. Macklin shoots to the outside, scoots to the bottom, from the heavens above to the depths below. He wants to show what he can do right here and now in Old Sin City. Some great action here for the race lead. Meanwhile, still in the back of the pack here, the field trying to numb their way through and hang on down the rest of the field. Running low on laps, though. Stage break coming up. And look at this, lap traffic going to be a factor here, as currently Macklin and Dalton trying to avoid confliction and issues here. And it looks like Dalton might be trying to put on the nitrous. He's got some power under that hood, and he is using it, and wisely so. Probably waited out just until the right moments and the right times to strike. This is exactly what you need to do as a driver to show what you're going to be capable of and what really drivers have to try to do to catch you. However, it does come with a risk, which is you could be overusing yourself and giving yourself too much of a headache or a little bit of problems down the road. That's something he's going to have to be very, very careful of. Well, I think I'd probably be remiss if I didn't bring back the guy that everybody was talking about last week on our comments section, the man in the big 84, the Talking Giants machine. It's Anthony Mikalatani. And right now, he's going one-on-one against a Cup Series season champion, defending champ for that matter, and Charles Van Schaik, as well as a heavy hitter in Samuel Harrell. The big 43 treatment oil STP machine trying to fight off anything that moves or trying to run off anything that goes. Every driver right now just looking for position and jockeying for their run. Playing through right now, John Higman Jr., the number 60, NOS energy drink, trying to get some speed going on the number 44, Glenn Campbell. Higman Jr.'s been down these roads before. He knows a thing or two when it comes to playing it out with these guys and firing on all cylinders. He's trying to get this machine as far ahead as he can as we lead him down to the end of stage number 1, lap 20 in the books, and Tyler Dalton will take home the stage win. A great showing out of the gate here from the Truck Series. Considering we got over 40 drivers locked in tonight, coming out for the show and coming out for the fight. Tyler Dalton, your first winner of the stages. But again, this is a long, long road ahead, and he knows he can't give up that easily. Well, race fans, I know you guys are watching along with us here tonight. Let us know in the comment section down below, what do you think so far of this very beginning of this race? Do you think Tyler Dalton is going to be the man that's going to have to be the one to take down, or do you think last week's feature winner, E.J. Orrick, has got something in mind for him and the rest of this field? It's hard to say because Jose Gonzalez and Macklin, they've already been pretty good out of the gate, so pit strategies are going to be a very tall tale here and a sign of things to come. And Oryx already playing his games. He was going to go in, then he decided not to. The rest of the field, well, they're going to go for there. Well, from pit road right now, nothing too crazy happens. EJ Ork will continue his reign of supreme, and he will stay out of the leader spot. Tyler Dalton gets it out, though, in time. Jose Gonzalez, Brian V. Macklin staying in their positions. Chad Coleman, I believe, moves up 1. Mike Kelly goes back down 1. Glenn Campbell and them staying in their usual spots. Top 10 from coming out of pit road. Shannon Wood, Steve Ritter, John Hickman Jr., Glenn Campbell, Mike Kelly, Chad Coleman, Brian V. Macklin, Jose Gonzalez, Tyler Dalton, and E.J. Orrick. Well, the TurboTax filed for free, number 44, Christoph Hall. Kind of reminding those at home, yes, W-2s are going out. Tax season is upon us. You might want to get them squared away and get them ready to go here, guys. I'll get mine done eventually. Believe me, I got to get that actually called up tomorrow and get myself set up. I don't know. Maybe I might have to go through TurboTax. I don't know yet. Well, let's see. Some of the names that we saw a little earlier on, though, in the Daytona race. Laying low for now, anyway. Kind of surprising, too, because really, some of these names, we've seen them so often than not, you expect them to be up in that front and to really stabilize it down, going for broke when they can. Alright, race fans, we are getting situated out here. We're going to lap number 26, back to the green flag. One caution so far, one little hiccup, everybody else learning their lesson, and then so far it's been pretty good from there. Those up front, nothing really to worry about. Those in the back of the pack here, a lot to really figure out and deal with in the pressure-wise. Bud Shearer, Devin Pencil Scott, Alan Wild, all suffering some horrible fates there from the get-go. John Fowler, Randy coaching as well. Much of the same. Actually, Randy actually joining us here in the broadcast comments section for that reason alone. Here we go, race fans, coming off down over turn number 3 to turn number 4. It's lining them back up to the green flag, and we are running them down to the line. Well, just like when we started, we're back where we're at. Macklin already trying to make a move off on Dalton. Meanwhile, the rest of the field trying to hang in there. Steve Ritter in the 87 dealing with pressure from the 42. Dakota Kramer. While that 44, Christoph Hall falls back a little bit. As we get a little bit tagging back to the field down through turn number 1 and 2. Number 55, AJ DeMazo right now currently trying to stay out of trouble and get the DeMazo paint machine right in line and right back on top. As the Budweiser 88 looks for his ride out and sees him down through the field on the brown. And they are 3 deep, nearly 4 deep in. I don't know if that's going to work very well. Nope, it won't. Watch out. Big wreck out of turn number 1 and 2. Oh! And Ryan D. Cook, innocent bystander, getting completely dished by Zach Roniczek. Major wreck ensuing, and we must visit the P10 Racing TV instant replay. A huge hit there. See who started. I believe it might have been the bottom lane there. I think it might have been Dusty Burkhart. I'll have to get a number on that one for sure. Oh man, some of these guys just take some punishment. Maurice Burnett, I see him down there. Philip Smith, I see him. Ryan D. Cook, what a huge hit he took, man. Oh my goodness. So many guys just taking a wild, absolutely wild hit there. That was Burkhart, by the way, that had started the chain reaction there, unfortunately. Looked like the truck just tightened up and it got enough of Kramer and then everything else. I don't know what the heck happened. Aaron Jackson, you can see he goes for a ride. The Talking Giants 84, unfortunately, Catalani gets in it. Oh, man, the 88, too. You just see that huge hit thrown on Nick Ritter there, man. He had nowhere to go and a lot of places to be trapped at. It was a horrible wreck there. Many drivers involved. And the field right now has to get squared back up into position and hope to really stay out of more trouble than they're already putting themselves in. Race fans, when we come back, drivers are getting fixed up and cleaned out, but some of them are getting cleared out entirely. Stay tuned with us. Tonight's race here at Las Vegas Sports Speedway, brought to you in part by Race City Sports Memorabilia, your one-stop place, your one-stop shop to get all your racing needs and your sports designs with what you want and then some. Be sure to visit them up here on Facebook. Alan Wild saying, well, that sucks. See what I can salvage after getting these repairs done. Had nowhere else to go with the brakes locked up. Alan, man, I don't blame you, and I understand you clearly. I've been in that same boat, in that same situation before. It's not fun, sir. I can tell you that. We're already nearly halfway done with this race, and talk about absolute carnage. These drivers trying to avoid it and trying to hold on. Field trying to double up and get ready to get back out of here. They are patiently and eagerly waiting to return to the action. Remember, lap 50 is going to be the next set, the next start off here. Running them down, back to the green flag we go once more. Uh-oh, that's not good though. Trouble out of the gate again. And one up, oh my! One flying upside down, wrecking it hard into the wall, the inside barrier. That is Charles Van Schaik, the 23, is on his roof. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What on earth happened off the start? Well, Richard Crane didn't even get off the line, and then Van Schaik, oh my, he just went for a violent ride. Oh my goodness. A good ton of equipment just literally thrown around like a rag doll. And not in a very good limelight or a situation like that is what you do not want to see. Take a look at the replay here. And yep, right there you can see DeMarzo looks like was the one that started that. I believe he got into Christoph Hall there, one of them, and started the chain reaction entirely. So a very, very bad deal there, unfortunately. These drivers are just going to have to kind of learn. They cannot get too crazy out of the gate. They've got to stay relatively clear and clean of each other. Can't get things too out of shape, out of hand too quickly. Well, the way we're looking right now, unless we can get these starts off in a better light, I think honestly we may be losing a lot more drivers than we already have. There's a whole field of them down there in pit road or out of this race entirely. And some of them are going to get put laps down even more so than usual. Right now, currently, catching up with everything, 19 drivers are on the lead lap. We started with 40 drivers plus here. That just gives you an idea of what happens when things get a little bit over their heads and over the top, even for themselves. Well, right now that is the man everybody is trying to hunt down. They're keeping a close eye on. But again, it being so early in the race, a lot of them probably don't even want to look at it that way. They want to kind of focus on just trying to keep their truck in one piece, especially considering many of them have been trapped in a bind and trapped in a very bad spot early on. As for our hard charge right now, the man we're looking at, the number 38, John McMillan Sr., 25 spots up. The 07, D. John Monte, 25 spots up as well. They're the hard chargers, and they're trying to get themselves through this field. Back to the charge, back to the line, green flag, back in the air. Now can they get to the first turn? So far, so good. It's looking good. It's looking real good right now. There we go. We're starting to get a little bit of separation out from the packs and the hunters up there. The Predators now moving their way to the chains, and those wanting to take more than just that, up to the top and to the front. Here comes Macklin. Macklin with a big slight advance there, running his way down to the field and down to the corners. The 5 of Chad Coleman trying to intervene in Sylvia's rear. The adrenaline shock. 5 to Ford F-150 trying to put it to the Camry, to the Tundra and the Chef and the Silverado. 3 different manufacturers in 1, 2, and 3 right now looking for the lead. With the who's who drivers behind trying to also intertake in this course, trying to find another run, another line if you will. These guys absolutely toe-tapping and setting it down as much as they can, trying to make a run for whatever they can, hold on for the best here. Line back down though. It's Macklin, your leader. For the first time today, we've got a few laps in from the 30 camp. Dalton trying to find another crossover attempt or trying to find another opportunity to strike, but he's running out of time here in stage number 2. So it looks like he's going to put it on the nitrous and let this thing roar to life. doubling up through the field to the ranks here. Coleman now making a move up ahead as well. Got a good little charge up there. Couldn't quite get to the Colemans. They're going to get more trouble again. No, not again. Wait. Staying green, though. Staying green. I think that was the 69 of Burkhart there that got intertwined in that mess up. They stayed green. Massive little collision though off turn number 4, unfortunately getting right into the wall protection. Thankfully the safer barrier is doing their job and making sure each driver comes out safely and okay. Still a very gnarly little hit and a very tough little hit to deal with, and the field of pressure that comes with it. Every driver right now just trying to either find their own little end or find their own little area. Jamie Orell going to get put a lap down or 2 extra. He's going to have to, unfortunately, Ryan D. Cook right in front of him, kind of being a bit of a slow gap between him and the field. The 60 of Jagman Jr. right now dealing with the pressure from the 44. Glenn Campbell, this Campbell camp is right now looking to try to make some moves off McMillan Sr. Trying to show Jr. what you can bring to the table if you run this thing into the ground. The good Rent Service 38, great racing so far from him in that camp. Orvelli had to speak too soon. The broadcaster Chris had to strike somebody, and it's going to strike Mike Kelly and McMillan. Massive little slap there, and it's going to be, unfortunately, Kelly suffering the worst of it. Oh my. Talk about taking for a huge lunge in a bad spot there. It looked like, as I was saying, that McMillan might have been kind of toppled up. Let's see. He came down a little bit, and you can see right there, as soon as he did, Kelly, nowhere to go. McMillan, I don't think intentionally tried to clobber him there, but it just happened to be that way. The 87 of Steve Ritter, unfortunately, got ridden of all evil spirits, but also got ridden of some fender parts on that one as well. Massive little hit there, unfortunately. Wow. And that's leading into really what Best Speed said is the end of the stage. We'll be transitioning now into the final stage, I believe, so that's how we're going to go. So coming from pit road right now, Dijon Monte going to go in right now, and he'll lose the lead to Russell Ottaway. Ottaway will now have the race lead for the lap. so he'll take home, I guess, the stage win, if you will. I think we kind of got to give the stage win though to Macklin because he was technically before caution or later. I don't know how they'll rule it on the laps though. Russell Ottaway is going to be your new leader coming to the line here for our final stage. We begin it in a wild fashion as we've had 3 cautions so far and a whole lot of mischief and madness thrown its way. Some names though that have not been to the front yet, like the 11 of Ron Holyfield coming away second in that Cup Series race back at Daytona. He's looking to try to bring it in the Truck Series now at Vegas with a strong little fight back here. Jack Ullman been hanging around all day. Glenn Campbell and John Hickman Jr. such the same. Joe Hudson making a little bit of a fight back to the front. Let's see how that plays out for him and the rest of the team. Drivers linger and fire their way back down. It is time to send us to the final stage, race fans. Final stage now in implementation. And implementing it right out of the gate. Every driver for themselves. Look at this. 3 deep right into turn number 3. What a move there by Tyler Dalton. He had to go for broke somewhere. Somehow he wasn't going to let it deal that easily. Big jump up to the head and big jump into the fight. He goes for it all right at the start. Gustav on the 484 right now, linking into the inside of the number 11 here, putting some momentum off of the chains. Drivers currently just trying to intervene to the gate. Back on around here, entering turn number 3. It is now Macklin and Dalton charging it side by side. Jose Gonzalez in 26, much the same. Once again, these 3 drivers are going to go to war with one another. One of them used to it, the Navy brat himself, Macklin, looking to try and do what he was unsuccessful at Daytona with, pull off the W. These 2 will not leave each other alone. They are dead even with each other, and each driver giving it their heart and soul, just trying to overlap the other. Meanwhile, mixing it back on the back here, EJ Ork, the 41, also making a bit of a fight, come back some free. Managing to weasel his way through and find some openings when he can. The rest of the field much in the same vein, same boat. Shannon Wood, the 02. Looking to hustle his way around that real stream at Chevrolet Silverado. Keeping power up and keeping the momentum at bay. Ron Holyfield traveled back down. 23 spots up, though, between him and Russell Ottaway. Both drivers almost a virtual mirror image of each other, trying to outsmart and outdo the other to the best of their abilities. Gonzalez right now looks like an impatience level starting to grow near. Cowtails 26. He's getting kind of hungry and he wants to get some act from Tyler Dalton. He's just lingering and lushing and pushing it down on that bottom lane, trying to make the best out of the equipment, trying to make the best out of the situation, hoping for the best. Each driver right now just kind of holding it down to their best knowledge, their best expertise. Don Hickman Jr. much of the same. Around. Oh, a little bit of trouble back up there as well. Looks like one up into the wall. I believe that was AJ DiMaggio there that we were watching. Nope, that wasn't quite him. Somebody got ripped up on the top side though and got trapped in the outbounds there for a minute. Lap traffic certainly a big factor and a big issue for these drivers right now. Again, they're separated out and lost a lot of guys due to the unfortunate nature of the tight-ended playing field, the hard racing trackside area of Vegas. Defending Joe Hudson right now, you keeping the USAL machine right in charge and right in control, trying to hold down as he's trying to get to the TRN service. Silverado Chevrolet of Glenn Campbell. And leaders right now traveling right through lap traffic up to the front here. Richard Crane going to the bottom. So is Ryan D. Cook. All drivers trying to avoid him. Let the leaders race it out. But that gives Gonzalez some opportunity to strike here. Give him some room to breathe. We're on lap 60 at 101. Other hard chargers like 24 spots up here for Dijon Monte and 27 spots up for Jerry Livingston. Certainly making a very compatible and comparable fight here to get it anywhere in that top 10. The top 10 in this field at any time of this season, I feel, is going to be rewarded with true succession. Not easy to do and very difficult to master. And I think that's what they're kind of hoping for and kind of lingering on, if you ask me. Livingston, the 96, backing down, getting out of the way there, but stays in contention, stays in control. Holyfield and Coca-Cola 11 Chevrolet trying to make something move up on Scott Simley in the Mobile 1, number 7. Simley also keeping the pressure on, keeping himself well in pace and in control. The auction flag is out though. Trouble on the track. David Pencil Scott, Ron Holyfield appear to be the victims here. We'll have to go to the PTM Race TV Instant Replay and see what went wrong there. Couldn't quite catch it on our camera angles as this was happening. And this could really give you a little bit of a sense of how difficult it is when you work through lap traffic. Cody Sturgill, oh man, 24, ripping it at old David Pencil Scott. And Pencil has just been penciled and to be destroyed tonight one way or another, it seems. He has had multiple times stretched out and just taken out completely. Ron Holyfield suffering the first one today out of that. You can see he was trying to make a move there too, and it looks like Cody was trying to avoid him but then forgot where the 31 was. And as both drivers kind of intervened, Holyfield and Pencil get the worst end of the bargain. And Gonzalez is going to stay on out where everybody else goes to pit road. A bold strategy coming through. This field of drivers right now currently with just under 50 laps remaining, still in the control, in contention. Try to muscle down and really bring the speed down the light here and really up to where they can play it out at. And you can hear Gonzalez right now currently clutching in, trying to save some fuel. I would say he's probably not too confident he's going to be able to last out long enough with what he's got underneath him. So he's hoping that if he clutches in, he may be able to actually save a bit, have a bit of a better chance here. Fans of over 50,000 in attendance tonight here in Las Vegas, Nevada, taking their time away from the hustle and the bustle of the big city to come on down and head it down to the biggest racetrack they got on display and on store to run it out. And we're getting a great look in and a great little showcase of the chaos and the madness that can ensue in the strives here on PTM Racing TV. Clearing them off down around turn number 4, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready to rip and whip it out on the track yet again. Our flagman high in the sky flies them down. Let the lights flicker on. Let's get back to it. 15 drivers remain on the lead lap. Only 15 remain on it. With green flag back behind the air here, this is going to be major opportunities for those that are trying to jump up ahead. 3 wide salute. John Hickman Jr. clears the gap. And he throws Dalton and Macklin up top side. Both drivers aware of the surroundings, aware of the situation. They back off, trying to save themselves some trouble and some problems here. Meanwhile, moving their way back into the chains here, the number 44, Glenn Cable already making some big fights out here with EJ Oric. Oric trying to go back to back here and looking for win number 2. Get a great feel and mindset of what these drivers bring to the table and what they're pouring down on the track. Everybody looking in deep, looking on its head. Flipping this race on its head too. Man, these guys will not give an answer. They will not quit it out. Gonzalez back to the inside. Oric running it down. He's now got it around Tyler Dalton here as Gonzalez falling off big time here. Hickman Jr. getting trapped on the outside. That 41 of Oric, man, you got to be careful about him. The aggression will come through in a bind. He'll come through in a pinch, and he will not hold back if he has to. Running it back down here, 3 wide into the corner. Look out for Christoph Hall, the 44. He's bringing the speed and bringing the power under. And he's forcing some drivers' his hands here. Got to be careful down there, though. Can't overdrive these areas here and can't get too much pressure on him. That could be a bad spot. Well aware of that, but Hall, no regrets here. He seems to almost revel and the flourishment and the insanity that comes through with this kind of race, this kind of background. That seems to be what he's after and what he's trying to dictate around in the pace. Running back. Oh no, that's what we were worried about. Oh man, and another huge hit, unfortunately, right on there. I think that was Sponsel Scott again. Unfortunately, it was. And the caution flag flying out here. Unfortunately, for Glenn Campbell and David Pencil Scott. And a nasty, nasty wreck. What an absolutely maddening hit there. Well, Christoph Hall was not going to lift there. And, oh my gosh. Right into the door there. Oh, no. Knows that thing too. Neither driver really had any idea or any clue where they were going to be going or where it was going to happen at next, other than just knew it was coming. Lap traffic here, you can see he was trying to stay out of the way. You can see once the 44 got spun, he had no idea he was going up on him. This one, he just really kind of went along with it. You see Glenwood probably just immediately just firing that truck up and getting going out of the track and out of the pace. Gonzalez having to admit he's going to go into pit road, and Macklin as well. EJ Oric is going to stay on out, and he was in lap number 63 with 75% fuel. I don't know how much that will work or if that will be enough for him to control with. It's going to be interesting to see really what plays down and what goes down here. But it's a tough call and a very tough move here to really be bringing it to. Well, right now, currently, everybody just looking on from our top spots to our bottom spots. Everybody has flipped this race up on its head and up on its side here. Some even going completely on top of the roof, just getting trapped into this mess here. Right, back around off of turn number 4. Here we go. Once more, race fans initiating to the restart zone. We're looking for them start, looking for the jump. Green back on out. Slinging it right back around through the corners here. The leaders that were up front still trying to get back to the front, but again, traffic is going to be extremely tall order just to make a move around here, especially considering what they've got in front of them and what they've got around them. EJ Orr currently trying to defend off a who's who of drivers, including Joe Hudson. And then number 15 trying to line up and trying to fire a shot. Back on the top side they go again here, and it is Dalton bringing speed and bringing the power up. Nobody is safe right now, and everybody is in the way of trouble to ensue. Christoph Hall, look at him, he's shooting the gap up a bit too. You can see the file for free, TurboTax pushing and shoving his way in there. Big crossover there between Hudson and Macklin though. Hall trying to hold on. And EJ Ork right now looks like he's going to get to dive back down low immediately, get the draft off and block his run from anyone else. I don't know if that was exactly a good move, but I don't think that quite worked out as well for what he was looking for. Stringing the 3 wide, double down. Here comes Hudson on the USAL 15. Slinging the speed around. He's got a great opening on Ork. Ork trapped up on top. Hall looked for the bottom and couldn't quite get there. Christoph Hall has not been to victory lane in a very long time. Joe Hudson looking for the first time. This is a masterpiece of heavy racing and moments to mark. First half may have been a little sketchy, but this second half is getting a lot more conservative, a lot tougher to hang on with. Oh, Oric right into the wall off of turn 2. He stays under control though. He's got to be careful down there. Look at this side by side. That's literally less than 2 inches between each other. Oh my. Gustav Hall and Joe Hudson literally just probably trying to find any kind of way to stay out of trouble. And speaking of coming up in trouble, here comes Macklin, racing through the grass. 3 wide for second. There's not a lot of room down there, Dalton. And lap traffic yet again in the way. They have to back off just a slight bit. Samuel Around forcing drivers a little bit on the bottom. By no means of his own, he just had to try to stay out of the way, but everybody else was so enraged and encouraged to try to make their moves and make their shots. 3 wide for the race lead. Christoph Hall down into the dirt, down into the drive. One last big push from the 19. He gets it around Hall, but can he hang on? DJ Orrick gonna give a big bump to the 44. Trying to get him in his drafting spot in place for a good run off that get around that 19 of Dalton. Doubled in, double-sided here. Every driver just trying to stay in their own round, their own controls. John Hickman Jr. in the 60 kind of keeping himself in place, keeping himself on spot. Joe Hudson, the 15 and the 30 of Brian B. Macklin also right in there. There is some serious head waves and some moves being thrown out on the track. And for good reason. Again, we are nearing the end of this race here. So chances are running limited on what they can do and where they can play it out at. Dalton, though, looks like he might have found the winning strategy, but here comes Jose Gonzalez, the 26 as well. He's also in this. He's still making a run for him in a beeline for the pack. Retro Crane down on the bottom, Butcher on the bottom too, avoiding controversy and avoiding issues here, conflicts of interest, I should say. Look at the 44 too, the tires on the right front might be finally given away. It looks like he may have burnt up more than he can chew. Has he driven too hard? Has he driven too much? That is a big, big question he's going to have to ask himself here. Gliding back around out of a turn number 4 here. Every driver for themselves leading their way through, down into the pack, down into the spot. Major moves coming on. Christoph Hall, John Hickman Jr. and Chad Coleman, they are now battling for the 3rd position. Battle the Chevy versus the Fords. And the Fords trying to win this out. Alan Wild in the 75 trying to stay out of trouble. The Wild man himself, unfortunately, getting himself into a few bad breaks and a few bad positions throughout this race. We certainly hope next week will be a little bit easier for him and maybe a little bit less temperamental on him and the crew. Macklin getting some serious headway back through, 3 widening out the gap between lap traffic and the 5 of Coleman. Gonzalez is the last driver that can catch Dalton at this point. The 19 has figured out the secret and everything go with it. Down to the final 11 laps here, race fans, and what a day it has been, full of mischief, chaos, and a few calamities there that mixed up the rest of the field. Now this final pack, this final drive off, just trying to hope for any kind of area or any kind of openings to work with. Looking around right now, Scott Sidley, the number 7 here, looking like he's also getting some serious moves up here. Joe Hudson, the 15, his pressure and his speed not quite at the same level, at the same tone as some other guys were earlier. And now, trying to hang on, trying to get anything he really can out of this one. Laps are winding down. John Hickman Jr. seems to have got a comfortable third place position wrapped up as long as he stays in the momentum. Speaking of getting in the momentum, here comes Coleman looking to get into the zone and give himself a shot at putting on a fight for the top 5. Macklin and Hall, the gatekeepers of the top 5 right now, if you will. Hall currently holding on to the outside. Macklin trying to keep it close. Both drivers avoiding traffic. Alan Wild still yet again staying out of the way. The adrenaline shock 5 though of Coleman saw a good opening there, but decided to avoid it. Gonna try to dive back down low again. He crosses the 0-2 Wood. Shannon Wood cannot be too happy. He keeps getting crossed up and thrown out of the window a little bit. There's not a whole lot of breathing room, not a whole lot of area to really work with, and they're well aware of that. Despite the tremendous fight back there from EJ Ork and them as well, there's nothing left to give and nothing left to lose. You can just see how much pressure and how difficult it is to get that truck to stay straight and stay on line and on cue. Some of them getting really closer and closer to those wall edges and to the bad spots of the turns you don't want to be in. Making for quite an interesting little situation, a little setup in this moment in time. Macklin in the 4th spot right now, dealing with pressure. Pressure from Hall, pressure from Coleman, and the rest of the guys trying to catch up to him. As we roll down the final 5 laps, here is our final tally on Dalton and Gonzalez. You can see there it was Dalton that was keeping Gonzalez honest, but on lap 96 he gained a little bit of ground on him. Dalton wasn't quite able to keep up and keep Gonzalez back all the way. Gonzalez able to stay with him, although despite losing a little bit of time, it didn't really make too much of a difference in my opinion. I think if anything, it actually kind of straightened him up a bit and really rallied him up to stay on line. Here we go now, going up 3 laps to go. Pressure on right now on that 19 and that 26 here. The rest of the field doing their own thing. Uh-oh! Hold on down there, Coleman and Hall. That's some aggression level, all right, but that may not be the place to be doing it at. Side by side, both drivers just plummeting right into each other in a collision course for trouble. Thankfully, both able to stay out of that problem, and they're able to keep it going. Coleman, though, may have cut down a bit of a tire there. Here comes EJ Ork, 3 deep, trying to cut him. He got it. He cut through. He got the top 5 now. Hall probably in disbelief that he let that opening happen, but it was a golden opportunity for Ork to make, and now he's bump drafted him pretty difficultly there. Speaking of a difficult move coming up, ladies and gentlemen, white flag high in the air. We're going for broke here. Gonzalez and Dalton. Which one's it gonna be? Gonzalez has lined him up. Can he get to the corner panel and get him again? He's got to get him a little bit loose off turn 4 if he wants any chance, or use lap traffic. Gonzalez though got rear-ended on that. He got the shaft on the dirty air, running him back through corner number 3, to turn number 4. It's going to be Tyler Dalton bringing the number 19 back to victory lane in Vegas. What an impressive showing and a big win for this man in the Sim 500 number 19. When you control the line, you control the spots. It all just works out. What a performance. Your Race City Sports Memorabilia results coming up on your screen, presented by RCSM. Tyler Dalton starts first, finishes first. Jose Gonzalez, what a performance there for him. To cope for Brooke, just came up short. John Hickman Jr. goes third. Ryan V. Macklin fourth. EJ Urk takes the top 5 of this one. Christoph Hall goes 6th. Scott Simley 7th. H. Ed Coleman. Shannon Wood goes 9th. Joe Hudson top 10. Rounding out the top 10 in the field. The rest of your finishers are on your screen as you see them. And that was probably one of the more chaotic races we have seen in a bit of a time here on PT Race TV, with everything that went down and everybody that was going for broke and going for the runs early. Some getting caught up sooner than others, and some nowhere to go, but straight down to the line and straight down to the wire. A lot of drivers taken for quite a ride tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a listen in now to your top 3 drivers. Let's present them to you live on the show. Started third, finishes third. The 60, John Hickman Jr. going to bring home a solid podium today. Hickman, I got to ask you, man, you had a great little run and a great little start out of the gate. You never really traveled up to the front for that lead, but you stayed in the top 5 all day. Was that kind of the strategy and the kind of pinpoint you were going for?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, after I got pushed back there a little bit, I just kind of stayed there, and it was just really hard to pass. And I took 2 tires that day and was able to get by some of those guys that didn't take any tires, so it all worked out pretty good.
All worked out pretty good. You gave yourself some big moments in between here. Now, I'm going to ask you this too. I mean, the later in the run, it seemed like these guys were getting a bit hectic, a little bit more crazy in terms of going 3 wide or really pushing your limits. How much pressure and difficulty was it in nature for you just to be able to hang on in that case?
Yeah, there was a few moments there where I wanted to take it 3 wide because I thought I was going to get stuck behind a slower car or something, and I thought better of it and just waited and then just made my move when I could, and seemed to work out pretty well. It was pretty exciting, though. It was fun racing with those guys.
For sure there, my friend. Well, I got to ask you, as you walk away today with a podium, who do you want to thank her for this third place finish?
I'd like to thank Goat Racing League and Sim 500 for getting this stuff going, and you for broadcasting the race. Justin Brooks for painting my new paint scheme tonight, and my mom and dad for watching the race.
For sure there. All right. Well, John Hickman Jr., man, congratulations on this third place today. Great to see you back here on the show, sir.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. John Hickman Jr., ladies and gentlemen. Well, Jose Gonzalez pops away today with a second place finish, but I'm not seeing him on the call here, so it looks like we'll won't have our second place finisher today unless he joins us a little bit later here on the show. Give him a second here. Looks like no, he's still not going to be able to make it, so we'll go ahead and give him a congratulations here on the second place. If he does join as we're finishing up with Tyler Dalton here, we'll bring him in certainly. All right, race fans, it's time to hear from the man that's bringing 2 wins in 2 different series. Tyler Dalton brings it home to victory lane today at Vegas. And Tyler, you had to run the murder's row, or the gauntlet as I've always called it here on the show, in terms of talent and speed and capacity you had to go through on a track that's as difficult as the past here. How were you able to do it, and how was this truck even able to get through that?
Well, thank you. All that came down to in the beginning, we knew track position was going to be really important. Went out there, sat on the pole, and from that point, it came down to strategy. I honestly thought I made a mistake when we pitted the first caution after the end of the second stage. I came in and got fuel only, and I saw Macklin and a couple others take tires, and it seemed like it was going to work out for them pretty good. Then we had another quick caution after I think it was about maybe 8 laps. So I came in and got, I'm gonna come in and get tires now. I'm gonna lose some track position. And then I knew I probably had about 10 laps to try to get to the front before you just can't hardly pass. It's really hard to pass here once the tires really get heated up. First 10 laps you can run 3 wide as you saw there, but once the tires get heated up, it becomes really hard to pass. So tried the outside, that didn't work. Was trying the middle, that didn't work. Finally got to the bottom and got underneath. Not sure who it was. I think it might have been Christopher. Got underneath him, and I was watching my mirror. I knew Jose was on the same strategy I was tire wise, so I was just trying to run it hard as I could to keep him still behind me, but keep him in the dirty air. And then looked like it was going to be pretty easy. Then we caught some lap cars there with about 2 to go. They got him pretty close, but we were able to close it out. Finally had some luck go our way and not have a caution.
And I have a caution indeed here, and I know you said you wanted some luck when you got that plate track win at Daytona in the Cup Series. Now to get this one in the Truck Series at Vegas, I mean, does this really kind of set another bar here for you to continue on with here in this truck season?
Yes, there's definitely, whenever you can go out there and beat, people like Jose, Macklin, EJ, Coleman, and then just you look at the top 10, a lot of really high rated drivers. Whenever you can go out there and beat those guys, it doesn't matter what the track is. It's an accomplishment. Vegas, we had run not too long ago, and we pretty much knew what we had to do. It was pretty much, we raced like crazy for the first 15 laps, and then try to get clean air. But we made it work for us, and we'll see if we can win some of the more technical tracks too.
For sure there. Well, Dalton, nevertheless, you walk this one out here in Vegas and head to the Vegas Strip. I got to ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for all this?
So thank everybody in the Sim 500 Mafia. All his teammate John Higman had a really good finish there, fifth. Like Shannon finished ninth. So we had 3 of us there in the top 10. Jose, a former teammate and still really good friend, finished second. So I had a really good showing for the team tonight. Hopefully we can keep this up this year.
For sure there. All right, Dalton, nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning on in here, sir. Congratulations finishing this one out in first in Vegas.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, going to bring home the victory and bring it home to the house tonight. That'll about do our coverage here, race fans. Thank you all so much for watching, and a big thank you again to Race Today's Sports Memorabilia. Thank you all for tuning in, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed the show. We will see you guys tomorrow night as we give you guys some more action. The final race of Six Sigma Sim Racing at Shalimar Speedway. It should be a good one. But for now, be safe. God bless. Take care of yourselves out there. See you next time.